Gentlemen, I'm going to take you through a home muscle building full body workout today, and I'm going to go through each and every single exercise. I'm going to break it down for you how you can maximize your muscle growth at home doing this full body workout. So going through the form of the exercises and give you the right and correct guidance to help you fully maximize your results when trying to build muscle. So you'll be able to do these exercises at home, and yes, you are going to need some equipment, and I'm working with the most basic things that most people have in their house if you do look to build muscle. So the simple sets that you can get from outside is going to be a barbell set and a dumbbell set. So that's the only things that we need to work with, and we're going to hit the entire body and really pushing yourself. I'm going to be doing a 40-minute workout. That's what you're going to be aiming to do. So doing 3 rounds will make up your 40 minutes of this workout. I'm going to run through the first quarter of the workout and going through each single exercise and just giving you how to maximize your results when you do this workout at home. First exercise, guys, we're going to do a dumbbell chest press. So you don't need a bench. You can actually do this lying flat on the ground. That's how I'm going to do it today. So while you're working at home, don't expect you to have such equipment like having benches. So you're going to be able to do this exercise just lying on a mat at home or just a soft, comfortable ground. If you've got carpet, then it's perfectly fine. So you just set up your weight, going to a seated position first, and you'll be able to just drag that weight up, put it up to the thighs, and then just slowly lean all the way back. You can keep that bend in the knees if it's more comfortable, and just putting that weight here with my elbows on the ground. And from here, then you just want to line it up with your chest, get those arms out a little bit wide, and then from here, exhale out, and then pushing up. So that's the starting position here. You want to make sure that it stays lined with your chest, the dumbbells, so they're not lined with your shoulders. You want to make sure you're getting maximum recruitment from chest and not pushing through any of your front delts here. So you want to take this in an angle when you do the dumbbell. So at the moment you can see it's pretty straight, like you would push a barbell. You want to put it at an angle, roughly about 30 degrees bend into it, and then bring it down to the chest. So you want to get the bar close enough to the chest, but once your arms, sort of elbows are touching flat and your triceps sort of flat on the ground, from here you want to push through and just breathing out the top. And make sure you're just keeping and maintaining that line. And we're going to be aiming for a 10 to 12 repetition range. So make sure you've got enough weight load to hit that maximum failure. If you haven't, you're working with slightly lighter weights, then just push your rep range a little bit higher, whether you're doing up to about 15 reps. When you're bringing the weight down, just put your arms down, like getting the elbows down again on the tricep area, and then just sort of bring your weights down and just sort of get it down pretty safely so you're not twisting for your wrists and the elbows. Don't want to injure yourself. From here, you want to take at least a 60-second rest. So when you're pushing heavy weights, you find that your breath, you will lose some breath. So from that, you want to regain that because you want to maximize each of your exercises and give the best to each exercise. So you don't want to be tired through the exercise, so you don't be exerting too much energy to the point that it makes your next exercise difficult, to the point to get the reps at its best form. So that's why you take 60 seconds, and predominantly your main focus is working on just the muscle. So you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to build that mass, so you don't need to exert yourself too much and going into sort of more of a fat burning process. So for that reason, take a 60-second rest, and then I'm going to move to the next exercise. So here, I'm going to go into the next one. For this one, you're going to need to just grab yourself a piece of clothing. The best one will be a bath towel. And in this case, I'm going to be using some resistance bands to work our back. That's going to be the difficult one at home, that you'll find that if you haven't got a pull-up station, pull-up bar, and then you're going to find it pretty hard to do any back exercise at home. So for that reason, if you grab a towel, and we're going to go into this exercise now. So we're going to lie down straight. So you'll be doing a similar movement like a pull-up, but lying in a prone position. So I'm going to go flat down on the ground here, chest on the ground as well, and just going to slightly have that little bend coming up. So a little bit of a back extension, so to the point you've got your chin off there, and get that chest off a little bit off the ground as well. And then you're going to bring your arms up as well. So you're keeping them up, and your feet, for stability, could be a little bit raised up if you prefer them on the floor. From there, you want to pull out wide, holding that tension. If you're holding the towel, and do it as if you're pulling it out, and make sure it's about shoulder width apart, so you get the best range to hit those lats. So we're going to really work in the upper back and hit the lats. And from here, really holding it tight, and all the time you want to keep that tension there, and then you just want to pull to the chin, and just breathe out here. And all the way back, you breathe in. And again, we're going for that 10, 12 repetition range. If you find any time you're feeling quite a lot of tightness in the back, just sort of rest down and just come back down, give yourself about 5 seconds, and then back up again, get those arms up, and try to really squeeze into your back muscles. So the best thing I'd recommend when you're doing this exercise is to use the towel, so you have that sort of static tension involved in there. The bands, you'll find they will obviously have a little bit of pull, especially when you go back to the starting position. They come back, lose elasticity and come back into its normal range. So it's best to have a towel. You'll find that the form is a lot more strict. So definitely use a long towel, and you'll find that is a really effective exercise for the back without doing a pull down or using any of your weights. I mean, you could be doing an exercise with the barbells or dumbbells, but that's a highly effective exercise, and it imitates the pull-up, and you will find that it engages more of your back muscles than it would if you were to do something like a dumbbell row or doing a bent over row, because you're not able to effectively target enough of the upper back, because you want to hit the sort of rear delts, the mid part of the upper back, as well as the lats. It will engage a lot more, and it's an overall better muscle builder than it is if you're using the actual exercise with the equipment. So again, you're going to take that 60 seconds rest, and then move on to the next exercise. I'm going to focus on shoulders. This is where now the barbell comes into place, and I'm going to be going with a kneeling barbell press. You can obviously do this standing as well, but I like to do it in a kneeling position. It can maintain better form and better posture when you're doing the movement, and also find just that extra load and sitting in this position. It actually helps with some flexibility as well at the same time. So again, a little bit more benefits from doing this exercise in this way. It's going to be just stretching out my quads, loosening them up. Probably very good before you're going to go into some legs as well. So let's go ahead and get a wide grip on the shoulder press. So getting it outside your shoulder width, just getting that weight up, and then starting position around the chin, and then breathe out as you press all the way up. So fully extend the arms, lock out those elbows, so you get a full recruitment into the shoulders, and slow and controlled bringing it down just up to level with the chin. Don't want to bring it any further down than that or to your chest. That causes the range of your rotator cuff to stretch a little bit too much, and eventually can cause some pain in the shoulder. Breathe in and exhale out the top. Again, going for 10 to 12. And as you see on the exercise, you'll find that when I have the bar at the chin, when I am pushing through, you want to make sure the bar then is sort of center line with the head. So as my arms go up, they don't stay in front. You're going to slightly see them actually go back. So I'm sort of center lined with my head. And that's actually going to maximize your shoulder growth, because you're not only now hitting the front delt, it's also going to get your medial delt as well as your traps in. So that avoids you long term trying to start throwing in things like shrugs and sort of focusing on just the traps alone. If you work effectively doing a shoulder press above the head, you can actually incorporate hitting those traps and medial delt. So you don't have to focus on single base exercises, just on particular movements to try to enhance the muscle in that one area. So make sure you do them properly, and yeah, it will just save time in the future when you're really trying to maximize your shoulder growth. So let's carry on with the workout after taking your 60 seconds rest. Then we're going to move on to the fourth exercise now, and we're going to hit some bicep curls. I'm going to go back onto your dumbbells. So if you need to change the weight of your dumbbells, you do so. You might find some muscle groups that you push and pull through. You pretty much lift similar weight. But for here, I'm going to stay with the same weight, And we're going to come into a kneeling position, but coming up this time. So you're more upright in a kneeled position here. And keeping those weights and elbows sort of nicely tucked in. I'm going to do bicep curls here. And I'm going to twist through the wrist so I can hit both front of my bicep heads here. So as I come up, I want to turn the weights out and then bring it as far and close as you can to the shoulders and really squeeze at the top, and then slow and controlled on the way back down so you avoid any swinging. So I don't want to be looking at any swinging through the body. Strict form, just bending through those elbows, bring the weight up, slow on the way down so you're getting maximum bicep recruitment, and breathing out at the top. And again, 10 to 12 repetitions on these two. And again, I'm going to take a minute rest. So make sure you definitely have strict form when you're doing biceps, no swinging. Otherwise your biceps will lag and the growth will just not really be there at all. If you're swinging, it might feel tough when you're doing exercise depending on the weight load you lift. But again, if you're not doing it properly, you're not going to see your biceps actually grow. So take your 60 seconds rest, and you can see there's some exertion of energy now. Doing this in a circuit form, coming to bicep curls. So that's what I don't want to do when you go into the next exercise, because as you're going through the workout, you will start to exert yourself a little more, and you need to take those minute rests to prepare yourself for each of those exercises. Next one, going to be focusing on the tricep head now, and also incorporating that inner chest. So I'm going to be doing a bodyweight exercise this time, and doing close grip push-ups to target the inner chest here, and working out a tricep head. So I'm going to go ahead and do the exercise. So I'm going to go with a close grip, and this exercise, not necessarily going to put a repetition range on it, not like 10-12. You could say you can do 10-12, but this is going to be different for each and every one of you, because it all depends using your own body weight how many reps you can do. So reality is, I would say just take it close to failure, and that will be your maximum repetitions that you can do with this exercise. So bring your hands in front of you, almost getting into that diamond shape here at the front. So you're sort of having your thumb and your first finger to touch. And you want to get into that push-up position. Keep a good straight line through your shoulders all the way to your heel. And those palms need to be lined with the chest. Yep. So again, you don't want to be pushing through your front delts. You want to make sure your chest comes down to touch your hands. And that's the right line. And then just breathe out, pushing through. Again, keep it slow, keep it controlled. So you don't want to come down too fast. So you take about 2 or 3 seconds to come down, and then push through. Well, I still managed to get 12 there, so I was still in that sort of 10-12 rep range. And the reason you might find for that, if you think you could usually do more, when you're incorporating the chest, you're incorporating the shoulders. The secondary muscle for those and assisting muscles for those is your triceps. So they're probably wearing down and fatiguing while those exercises are happening, and by the time you come to this exercise, it just makes it a bit more difficult. So it's a great way to bring the reps down just by doing the body weight triceps. So again, take that 60 seconds rest, and I'm going to do one more exercise, and we're going to legs. So this time I'm going to be using the dumbbells and focusing on some reverse lunges, getting some weight load into those glutes, hams and thighs to help you now build your legs. So I'm going to go into a reverse lunge. The reason for the reverse lunge, this will depend on your knees. Usually I don't have any problem with the knees, but I still prefer doing a reverse lunge than doing a forward lunge. Forward lunge, generally there's more pressure on the kneecap itself. So for keeping that injury prevention, I would recommend always doing it backwards, because you're always stepping backwards. There's never that pressure on the front knee. And I'll show you why we're doing the exercise. So I'm going to go ahead, and this one we'll be aiming for around about 14 to 20 within that zone. So whether you're doing somewhere between 7 to 10 on each leg, and we're going to alternate when we're doing this exercise. So always stepping back, because now there's no pressure on the front knee here. Like if you take it forward, you're always going to find there's a little bit of pressure, that bounce that you put when you go into it. So I'd rather be safe from the injuries, and you would prefer that so your knees ain't in pain. So again, from this position, go down, push through, stepping forward, and then stepping back. And you want to keep a good posture. So you want to make sure your chest is out, shoulders pushed back, keep those weights by the side so they're not going to come forward every time you do a lunge. You want to make sure chest is out, evenly distributed the weight across your glutes, your hands, and your quads. And then step far back enough so you can roughly get a right angle between your front knee and your ankle, and then pushing up. So I've put this one right at the end, the legs, because the legs always require a little bit more energy. You get a little bit more exertion. So that's the reason I put it at the end, because when you finish each of one of these exercises, doing sort of back to back after the minute rest, this last one, you're going to take 2 minutes rest. So you're really going to get that recovery in that 2-minute period now. And you're going to go back to the first exercise again. So you do the same thing all over again 3 times. That will make up your 40 minutes to maximize your whole muscle building workout. Guys, if you like this video, you enjoyed the workout, don't forget to smash that like button. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see content like this every single week. And guys, if you really need some help and need some coaching, make sure you check out the link down below, and I can help you personally and really increase your motivation, help you with your workouts and your diet to make sure that you go through a journey and actually maximize your results. Furthermore, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this workout and this video. And guys, I will see you next week in the next video. So take care and make sure you're working hard and keep strong.